Hello and welcome to the first episode of Stucratic Podcast. I'm your host, Sampada Pachuary, Director at IUC Foundation and leading student development programs for IUC consortium members. A little bit more about myself. I come from semiconductor industry with an experience of 17 years with ST Microelectronics India and Italy offices, Micron Technologies United States, and Sankalp Semiconductors India. Before joining IUC Foundation in 2019, I was working as a vice president for campus engagement at Electronic Sector Skill Council of India. At IUC, I've led customized programs in inquiry-based learning, problem-based learning, student projects, and IUC Annual Student Forum for thousands of undergraduate students of engineering. These programs are intended to bring out the best in every individual and empower them with tools for lifelong learning and professional excellence. Student Podcast Stucratic is one such initiative to bring experiences of one to the other as a community support platform. At any given time, students have plenty of questions about their future, career, further education, way forward, and pretty much anything under the sky. Stucratic Podcast pretty much wants to address these concerns. While it may not give you a ready-made answer served on a dish, but it will definitely bring you multiple perspectives from all our people, our students who have graduated, alumni, industry leaders, senior academicians, people all over the world, whoever are in our network, to bring you important points that you can use as your own data point to find an answer for yourself that works for you the best. That's what Stucratic Podcast is going to be all about. Our intention will be that we bring to you one episode in 15 days. We will try to do that as much as possible. Just tune in whenever you feel your life is tuning you out. That's what we intend to do.
Welcome to Stucratic FM. Today's episode, introducing Stucratic FM. Our guests for today, the team behind Stucratic FM. Let's begin.
And today we have some of our alumni students who have graduated in the recent years and a few current students who are going to tell you about where they are, what they're doing, and how their life has given them something really bright to be happy about. And I'm going to first invite Fairy Kimani for this podcast. Fairy, tell us about yourself first, and then tell us how your journey has been ever since you started to think about engineering or started to take up engineering as an option. Fairy?
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for having me here. So, good evening, everyone. As ma'am already said and introduced me, my name is Fairy Kimani. I graduated as an IT engineer in 2022 from Gujarat Technological University, and I currently reside in Pune, working as a business research analyst at Amber. So, my journey from high school to this point has been a series of difficult yet fun choices, each shaping my path in unexpected ways. Growing up surrounded by engineers in my family, I have always had a clear vision that I wanted to pursue IT engineering. So when in college, along with different, tech fests, when I got to participate as a core committee member for Student Summit, for IASF, and different webinars through IUCEE, I realized that I'm very passionate about connecting with different people and managing different projects. So, however, the transition to corporate came with its own set of challenges, obviously. I landed my first job as a business analyst in Gujarat through a campus drive. And, I was always told that pursuing programming was a better choice due to its broader spectrum of opportunities and quicker success. But I always knew that no matter how difficult it can get, working with people instead of working with code is going to bring me joy. That was about my first job. But now, when it came the time to switch jobs, I realized and I actually faced the very first real challenge in the entire career path, and I realized how comfortable I had gotten into my current role and hence never considered staying put with the market. So I faced intense lack of learning while switching, and I decided no matter what, I will quickly learn everything that I have missed in this entire year. And with that, it took me 8 months of constant adaptation, of changing technologies and understanding markets to land up in my next role. And right after that, I had to face one of the most difficult times, to be honest. Due to recession in the competitive market, I was suddenly a sole contributor in my family for a few months. And I had to immediately find a better compensating role to meet the needs. That was the time when I actually learned that the real meaning of determination and perseverance is just not giving up. When I had no choice, no backup to rely on, that's when I learned that the only way to achieve something is consistent faith, desire, along with unbeatable hard work. So even though it took me, even though like my current role, I was just 6 months into it, I made a decision to switch. And I obviously landed on a better compensating role at Amber, where currently I'm working, fulfilling both my personal and professional aspirations, I suppose. And looking ahead, obviously my plans for the next 2 years or in future are pretty ambitious. I aim to secure a position that offers not just financial rewards but also opportunities for international exposure. I'd love to travel all over the world for work, and I believe that everything in this world exists is completely in abundance. So with faith, patience, and hard work, I think one can achieve whatever they want. Thank you so much.
Brilliant, Fairy. This is amazing. So, friends, do you see how it is important to listen to the tales which people bring to you, your own people? We are all on the same journey. Some people are a little ahead of us, and some people are a little behind. But you get answers for yourself through others. And that's what this Stucratic podcast is going to be all about. She spoke about travels. Yes, each travel brings you a perspective. She spoke about hard work. She spoke about not giving up. She spoke about learning. She spoke about looking at how she can get a better compensating role along with learning a new skill. She spoke about how she understood whether she should be working more with people or working more with code and machines. This is a process of self-discovery. In this path of your own self-discovery, when you listen to your own seniors, your own friends and colleagues, you discover yourself. That's the intent of Stucratic, my friends. I'm going to now bring you another one of our senior students who graduated in 2020, Shravan. We have Shravan here, and we fondly call him Dada or Big Bro. Shravan, we would like to hear from you. What has your journey been and what you're doing currently?
Well, that's kind of more ironic introduction for me. I'm Shravan. So I graduated from Manad College of Engineering 2020. Uh, I was with EC branch. I actually got into corporate at the very wrong time, I can say. It was the peak recessions of 2020, where though you have multiple offers in hand, only software industries used to employ people. But as I always believe, like you always need to have options open, so that actually helps you to adapt to the different market conditions. So an easy engineer coming to IT, I know it's not a very different story, but to me it was so different. But then once you're into industry, you tend to get that bind and you understand, okay, you belong here after you put about 1 or 1.5 years of work on back of you. And post that, what I felt where IUCEE or any of these platforms that counted was from my UG, I made sure that I made good amount of networks. That network to me kind of helped me to capsulate things after I graduated. Somewhere I still believe that I read a one particular sentence on LinkedIn. I usually scroll LinkedIn a lot. Network was is the new net worth. I was wondering, okay, what does this mean? Most of the times people speak about net worth in terms of dollars or XYZ, right? But what happened to me was, okay, network is a new net worth is something that may have some sorts of literal meanings, but I actually felt it when I started looking for other opportunities. So even the current role I am in, I got it via my network. So I feel that network is something which is more important that we build over the course of years. What most people don't do at UG is this. I mean, people run behind skills. They tend to get expertise in AI, ML, artificial intelligence, which is equally good. But what's most important is you need to know right set of people in the industry for you to actually tap in those opportunities where you can get into a company, or let's say you get into a research on any of the firms. So when you know whom to approach to get what things done, it's just the plugins that you have to get into, right? So yeah, to cut things short, I'm into supply chain industry, practicing SAP from past 3 years. Currently working as associate consultant in Infosys. So yeah, I touch base consumer goods, where we kind of see the impact that we create for millions of people who use the products that we consult. So yeah, that's all about me and what I do. Yeah, let's hear from everyone. More excited to be part of this.
Thank you, Shravan. So, friends, did you hear him? He talks about networking. He talks about network being the new net worth. This is definitely relevant today. It was relevant when I was in my college, when I was growing up, and I think it's going to be relevant in the years to come. Your network is the one which also brings you a lot of opportunities. It opens you into a different world, which could be leading you into what you could do a decade later. A network formed today might help you with something that might become your second or a third career option. A network today could actually become a reason why you want to learn something new, a new skill, or develop a new personality attribute or a trait. So, network, that's what Shravan emphasizes upon. And what you notice is that Shravan was belonging to the batch which was the most difficult one, as he says, the 2020 graduating batch, when the entire world was going through the COVID pandemic, jobs were difficult. And you see how he has used his networks and his abilities and his smartness to sail through that. And he's doing wonderful. Now let's hear from two students. They are currently students. They are currently in the engineering and they are going to tell you how they feel, what their concerns are. You've seen two perspectives from Fairy and Shravan. It's time to hear some concerns. I invite Ashok, who's studying at RV College of Engineering, Bangalore. Ashok, could you tell us what your concerns are? What presses you most every single day?
Hey there, I'm Ashok, a budding engineer set to graduate in 2026 from RV College of Engineering, where I have been honing my skills in aerospace engineering. Nestled in the dynamic city of Bangalore, I find inspiration in hustle and bustle of the technological innovation. So currently, I am knee-deep in the world of engineering, immersing myself in the world of aircrafts and UAVs. Whether tinkering with circuits, designing structures, or crunching numbers, I thrive on challenges that come with pushing the boundaries of myself. In addition to my academic pursuits, I'm a firm believer in hands-on learning. You'll often find me in workshop, sleeve rolled up, and ready to turn ideas into reality. I believe in concept to completion. So, to be honest, my journey from high school to where I am currently is a journey of roller coaster. I completed my schooling in Bangalore. I was a brilliant student. I was good in academics, good in sports, and also cultural activities. I was the secretary of the Leo Club in our school and was a state level cricket player. So these things instilled courage and leadership in me. So that is what motivates me every day. And after that, after my 10th, I got into the dilemma of whether choosing science or commerce. So this is a very common dilemma that pursuing students who are currently studying who have faced in their 10th. So I had dilemma of whether to choose science or commerce, but I was always fascinated by universe, the cosmos, and I wanted to indulge myself in astronomy. So it was a clear decision for me to choose science and pursue. 11th and 12th was quite boring because we had online classes because of COVID. Now, COVID was both a boon and a bane. It showed us that everyone could learn on their own pace. But on the other hand, it had a lot of distractions. And overcoming those distractions was a difficult one. But through constant determination and also to achieve something, I choose that I have to come out of these distractions and I have to score something. So due to those, I got into RV College of Engineering and chose engineering profession. I knew that I had to choose engineering, but there was a dilemma in the branch. I had a concrete decision of choosing aerospace, but my parents had other ideas, software. So this phase, it had constant arguments, deep discussion, long conversation, days together about choosing the right branch. I had a simple funda in my life. Do whatever you like, because there comes a situation in life where you will be tested with all your abilities. And at that point of time, passion thrives. So I chose and made a firm decision of continuing aerospace engineering. And I went into RV college. Now, my first year in college was like Alice in Wonderland. I wanted to try everything, new experience I wanted to gain. I wanted to be a part of everything that the college had to offer. And that is how I ended up in IUCW. And that was one of the best thing that I could do, because I met with different personalities having different perspective on life. And that's the most important thing that I had to learn. And after that, I've been a member of a rocket project team in our college named Team Antriksh, where we build model rockets and test them and participate in competitions like Spaceport America Cup and LASC Brazil. This is my journey till now. My journey till now has been wonderful with ups and downs, but I never fail to enjoy each and every moment. And I constantly try to live in the moment. Now, I always follows SRK's beautiful words in one of his movies, Kal Ho Na Ho. Jio, Kush Raho, Muskaraho, Kal Ho Na Ho. I believe in those words. In the next 2 years, I would like to see myself graduate as a competent aerospace engineer who is industry ready. And also, I would like to see myself working in one of the aerotech companies in a higher position and try to chase my dreams and turn them into reality. At last, I would like to conclude by just quoting a few words of my role model, Stephen Hawking. He says that however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed. So there is something you can do and succeed. So this is my life till now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, Ashok. There is always something you can do and succeed. I like your life mantra. And you're right. You have actually epitomized a variety of concerns which students at your age or in your situation are going through in different colleges and different semesters and branches. It's good to see how you have taken those challenges in a very positive stride and converted them into a learning opportunity. Holistic, that's the word which comes into my mind. You spoke about leadership. You spoke about doing different activities which are extracurricular. You spoke about fulfilling your dreams. And well, I wish that your dreams do get fulfilled. I wish that anything that you aspire for comes to you. But at the same time, what you have demonstrated is that things may not just fall in place. You have the guts and the ability to make them work for you. I think that's the message which you give to the others. Have dreams, aspire and wish for something, and then as it seems to be working out, work towards it and make it a reality. Very well said, Ashok. We wish you all the best. Let's hear from another student, Shamanth. Shamanth, I'm sure you have some set of concerns which probably will resonate with many other students out there. Shamanth?
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I am Shaman. I am currently studying BE in Information Science in Malnad College of Engineering, Hassan. For everyone, journey is only included when they travel. But my life has been journey to me because I was born in Bengaluru, studied LKG, UKG in Chennai, first standard in Punjab, second, third, fourth in Rajasthan, from 5th to till now in Hassan. Throughout this journey, I have also actively involved in various clubs and organizations that have enriched my experience. I am a cricket zone player. It is usually considered as a step below to IPL. I was a part in Cups and Bulbus in Kendriya Vidyalaya. I was also NSS team member, and now I am a part of RSS and IUC EEWB. These clubs not involved improve my skills, but they also lasting their friendshipness and deep sentence of communication. One of the most important and difficult lessons that I have learned along this journey is the art of decision making. From relocating home to choice and education in career, I have come to understand that decision sharpens our path and defines our growth. If I think joining the IUC is a good decision or a bad, or joining cricket and playing is a good decision or bad. So I think that making decision is another part, and stay with the decision is make us that the decision is good or bad. So thank you for allowing me to share my part of my story with you today. Thank you.
So, friends, we just heard Shamanth talk about decision making. Decision making is another big thing where, and decision making, I mean, at this age, even I suffer a lot in the sense of the dualness of decision making. You're always finding yourself at the crossroad. You're always wondering, what if I had done that? What if I had chosen to do this instead of that? This will always happen. But the thing which Shamanth critically pointed out is that when you've taken a decision, you go with it. And I think that's where the importance of his messaging lies. You take a decision, whatever you have taken as a decision in that point of time is the best decision that you can take, considering all situations and circumstances around you. And then once you have made that decision, you go forward with it, you stick to it, you have faith in your decision, you believe in yourself, and then you just make it work. You will always look back at it 10 years later and see, oh wow, if this was the best decision I took. Or you may always look back 10 years later and feel regretting, oh, maybe I should have done that. But there's no point. Today you take a decision, that's your best decision. Tomorrow you just live with it and respect and have faith in yourself. So now we have Apoorv, and Apoorv is a graduate student. Oh, I mean, he's a graduate, he's not a student, but we are all students anyway for life. Apoorv will bring you some interesting perspectives on how interesting his life has turned out for himself and how positively you can inspire yourself to make things work for you. That's the message which Apoorv will bring. Apoorv, you're on.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, hello guys, I'm Apoorv. I graduated mechanical engineering in 2022 from DKT College of Engineering, and I currently live in Sangli. My work is also from Sangli. I am a product marketing and operations head for one startup, and I am the associate automation expert in another startup. And both of them are work from home. Now, coming to my basic journey about like from high school, what all has happened. Like, so just to give you guys a bit of context about what my point will be, which is that I come from I had the chance to live outside of India for a very sizable portion of my childhood. I lived in South Africa, thanks to my dad's job, and that kind of shaped the way I looked at the world. But then when I came back to India, suddenly it is a complete society change. It's a complete perspective change. Suddenly there's the fact that you can't actually talk to girls, apparently. Then there's suddenly the fact that there are between each division, there's a lot of fights going on, stuff like that. You can't be too nice to teachers because then you're the teacher's pet, etc. And this kind of gave me a unique perspective initially. Then after I finished my 12th standard, which I did in SGI, I had to leave SGI halfway through because there were a few issues that popped up due to home issues. So I kind of came back, and then I had to join a local academy. And then after that, I actually had a very weird position where after 12th, I didn't know what I wanted to do, which is a very common thing, like even as Ashok mentioned. So what I did was I went to this career counselor, and they actually recommended that I join journalism. And as I did not really like journalism, or rather doing journalism, I was like, okay, what other options are there? So my grandmother, who herself is an author and is a teacher as well, she suggested I do literature. I go do BA English, I do MA, I start teaching. But I didn't want, like, I love to read, right? But I didn't want to do that as my career, because that's something I do for fun. So then I finally went, okay, let's do engineering. But engineering, as it turns out, brought its own set of hurdles and obstacles, uh, because it's an engineering college. They have a lot of focus, obviously, on their assignments. They have a lot of focus on their own stuff that they have going on. And I wanted to go to different colleges, attend events, present, talk, meet people, and all of that stuff, because engineering was me learning how to be a person again. And so suddenly, people from college, friends, faculty, they were like, you shouldn't go to events right now and stuff. But I did. I went and I started actually earning money from those events, because I started winning them. My first smartphone I bought from that money. And then I organized the TEDx for my college. I was the team manager for a Formula student team in my college. And after engineering, what I noticed was I did not want to actually do a job. So I started learning Japanese during my third year, because I watch anime, and I thought that's an interesting way to start learning a language. And what I realized was I didn't really want to do a job, but I realized I'm also wasting a lot of my time. So my parents, a lot of the people from my parents' network, my own network, like as Shravan mentioned, network is a very crucial part of our life. And these people advised me that, I should kind of go for uh, getting something right now, because in the long term, while it might not be significant, in the short term, it will affect me quite a bit. And having something to do is very crucial, especially in my case, where I need something, otherwise my brain stops working. So because of that, I decided to join a startup, and I had a lot of issues with time scheduling, USA, India wala time, and etc. But what I've learned over that course of thing is, even though I don't have the corporate experience, my experience with startups, like specifically very early startups, is that you can't really think that you've stopped learning something, because even if you're doing the same thing, I learned Microsoft Excel long back as a kid, and somehow I still learned how to do things better and faster, because I was not going to be wasting a lot of time just doing VLOOKUP and all of that. So I learned VBasic and all of that stuff, and it was really fun because I started learning all of that. It's a rabbit hole in and of itself. And as for the future now, at the moment, I plan on getting at least a total of 2 3 years of work experience, because that will enable me to actually go outside for an MBA, which of course I want to go to Japan. I'm grateful that I somehow finalized something. So yeah, that is basically my story.
Thank you, Apoorv. So, as I said, he has an interesting story. He has an interesting perspective on life. And the best is, he's able to experiment with joy. Very, very important for all of you. He loves what he does. He's passionate. He takes decisions which may not be the traditional ones, but he's able to create a lot of value for himself and people around him. We wish you all the best. In fact, we would want to know more from you, Apoorv, on some of the coming for podcasts related to your decision making related to MBA and going to Japan for MBA. That might itself become one subject for a podcast. It will definitely help other students to know both the aspect of choosing MBA and which country and how, and why Japan and why not India or any other country where most people like to go. So we would definitely come back to that, Apoorv. But friends, do you see how Apoorv has been able to carve out a path for himself where he's able to bring out the best every day, each day? And he's not just representing an engineer, he's representing a creative artist. He's representing a marketing person, a product engineer. He's representing multiple skills and multiple disciplinarities of what he can bring to the table. So don't just ever confine yourself to engineering as one job or a profession or a skill. It could be diverse. It could be a multitude of many talents that you may possess. Bring them on. So, friends, today we end our podcast with these messages from some of our students and graduate professionals, young professionals. This is an interesting journey just beginning today. We look forward to recording several podcasts. We will probably take up questions and different issues, and we will dive deep into those issues. While what you heard today was a summary of some of the journeys, what we will try to bring you in subsequent episodes will be some detailed perspectives on a particular concern or a particular question or a topic. And we will be welcoming more and more such questions and topics and ideas from you. Stay hooked. Tune in whenever you feel that you are in concern or you're feeling any doubt. We will be putting these podcasts up on YouTube, Instagram, and few other social media channels. In fact, I would ask Apoorv to maybe mention that as a closing statement. Do comment, do subscribe and like, and do let us know what you feel and how we can do better and improve upon ourselves. We are doing this for the first time, but every day is a learning. Thank you all, signing off, but leaving Apoorv to tell each one of you how you can find us, follow us, and continue hearing us.
Thank you, ma'am. So, guys, you can find us on Instagram, you can find us on YouTube, you will find us on every single podcast platform that exists. So, whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, all of these places you'll find us. And if you think that these are not enough, you can also, put in questions and stuff so that maybe at some point in the future, we can have you on as a guest to ask your questions in person. So that's pretty much it about where you can find us. And always remember, as ma'am always says, you can tune in to Stucratic FM when your life goes out of tune. Thank you for listening and watching.